Unlike the movie, the book does not say that Stuart Little was adopted. In fact, it strongly infers the fact that he was born in the Little family via the normal route. This opens up so many questions in the Stuart Little universe. Welcome back. This is where we look at top reviews of popular books you were either burned by or burned through. My name is Ben. Let's dive in. Today's book is Stuart Little by E.B. White. With an overall rating of 3.89 stars on Goodreads and 130,000 reviews, let's jump in with the 1 star. Emily says, okay, so there's a sequence of chapters in the book where Stuart Little is looking for Margalo the bird. Then suddenly, he meets a man who tells him about this little 2-inch tall girl named Harriet Ames. Stuart heads to the post office and suddenly sees Harriet walk in because how could you miss the 2-inch tall girl right after you were told about her? And decides to write her a letter, asking if she'd like to go on a date with him. Okay. Number 1, Stuart, I thought you were looking for Margalo, the bird you obviously had a crush on and needed to find. You admitted to yourself that you loved her, so why are you talking to Harriet, whom you've never met? And number 2, I was internally, mentally, and telephonically screaming to Harriet, stranger danger, stranger danger, stranger danger. Anyway, I like the movies better. 2 stars. Karen says, I've recently learned that the ending of Stuart Little was rushed because E.B. White was a hypochondriac who was convinced that he was about to die and wanted to get out this book to the publishers before that happened. And then he did die. 40 years later. All that aside, it still doesn't excuse the beginning or the middle of the book, which were both equally atrocious. 3 stars. Emma says, major shocker alert. Unlike the movie, the book does not say that Stuart Little was adopted. In fact, it strongly infers the fact that he was born in the Little family via the normal route. This opens up so many questions in the Stuart Little universe. Like, what the heck is Stuart Little? Is he a mouse or a man? Why does he have a crush on a bird and then a little human lady? Why is he so rude to the little human lady? If he's a mouse, why is he the only animal in the book that humans can understand? Lots to wonder about here. 4 stars. Jason says, these are tall tales of a rather short stature, but that does not diminish their enjoyment. In his clean, straightforward style, E.B. White laid down a loosely connected connection of stories about a charming little guy in a big world, using size to some good comedic effects throughout. On the downside, Stuart Little lacks the pathos and cohesiveness of White's most famous work, Charlotte's Web, and the ending trails off in a puff of cliffhanging whimsy. Well, not everything you produce can be your best, I guess. 5 stars. Bup says, this is the first book that ever blew my mind. I am still moved every time I read the last few pages and sometimes still cry. That's right, I'm a sensitive, modern, secure man, and the last sentence may be my favorite in literature. So there you have it. Those are some of the top reviews of the book Stuart Little. Let me know what you thought about it in the comments and tell me which one I should cover next.